Welcome to the Nature476 live show, the first podcast
What's
channel
up?
ever on there. And who we have on here, we have Don. Don said he had a lot he want to say about the Pixel 8 announcement, the phones, the details, and everything, and the honest truth about the phone. So he came to me about it. So we're gonna go ahead and let the man speak. You know what I mean? He filmed when he been filmed with Easy Computer Solutions in New York and everything. So anyone in the tech community, y'all know who Don Trails is. All right, you go right here and speak your opinions. I'm gonna leave it up to you. I'm gonna fall back
What's
and
up?
be on me. All right.
All right, Terry.
All right.
All right. All right. Now you're looking at the guy that was probably the least likely to be a Pixel fan. What can I say? When they came out with the 6 series, I was watching Michael Fisher yesterday. He interviewed the guy in charge of product development at Google. And I thought Michael did a decent job. It was his first time to do I think it was his first time to do a big wig interview with one of the big guys. Well, that's an honor for him to share, to be able to have a venue like that, to be able to share with his subscribers. And they don't do it just with him. They pick and choose who they want their opinion to come through. But Michael is kind of neat because he has a real gift to gab. Like, he's got a good style, professional, I should say. And so they picked him, and he did a good job, I thought. I was watching to see, if he was going to ask some questions, and he did. And then after the interview, he came back on his video and said, he wished he would have asked more forcefully some questions about the battery life on the Pixel Watch and on, forget, some other things that were on his mind about, like shutting down Google services. And how can we trust Google if they keep shutting down services? Now, they promised 7 years of major software updates. That's getting there with Apple territory. So I wanted to break down some things that I made notes about when I was watching the Pixel event. Started out just perfect because it started out, even though it wasn't like the Samsung events where they were exciting, with light shows and wine and beer being served to the people that were there, and just like a Hollywood production. This is kind of dry and just. And first thing that struck me after the thing was over was, this is really not about the devices anymore. I still am like a kid in a candy store. Now, I've been doing Androids since 2014 or 15, when I got my first Motorola. My first flagship was the Moto X Pure Edition. And that's the one where you had the customization. And you could put a leather back on it, or you could put a hardwood back on it, and you ordered it that way, and it came just like you wanted it, and it was different than everybody else's. And back then, Motorola had a really good voice activation. It was the best voice direction where you could talk to your phone. Well, the guy that was in charge of the product development at Motorola during that release of the Moto X Pure Edition is the same guy that Michael Fisher interviewed yesterday. He's working for Google now. So that was kind of interesting. So it wasn't that exciting because it's talking a lot about stuff that a lot of people don't understand fully, like the AI. And they kind of glossed over, real quick, went over the Pixel 8, the Pixel 8 Pro, like it was not really the showcase. And let me get my camera better. There we go. And they did show the devices, and they did the spec readout and stuff, but it wasn't the same feeling. And that's just where we are, because smartphones have come so far and they're not as innovative. So you have to put on your mindset of Google is going to be software. That's the thing that you got to get pumped for, is the software. So I had the Pixel 3 XL and I had the 3A XL. And then I skipped 4, 5, and 6. But I started paying attention again 2 years ago when they released the 6. I liked some things how they're moving forward when they had their own chipset, and they actually started, in the words of Easy Computer Solutions, they started looking better. You know, Pixels were ugly compared to the other flagships. Just bland, ugly, but they did have some neat colors the first year. Remember in 2016 when they had that very blue and like almost white. So they started out so I'm watching, I'm excited, I'm tuned in. Let me get some drink here. They started out with the thing that I was the most interested in because I splurged. I went all out last year. I got the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel Watch first gen and the Pixel Buds Pro. And the Pixel Buds Pro got an update, but they hurt my ears. My ear canal doesn't do well. They weren't comfortable to wear, so I'm not really interested in that. So I was interested in the watch, and I was really excited when they decided to give the watch for free. Not the Wi-Fi version, but the LTE version for free if you buy the Pixel 8 or Pixel 8 Pro. I believe it's the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro. It could be just the Pixel Pro, but I think it's both of them if you order either one, but I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me. So one of the things that I want to show you, what I thought was the best color last year. This color, I'm glad I got the black, even though I have the Hazel Pixel 7 Pro, and I'm going to show you that. But I didn't have to have the Pixel Hazel watch because the black did so well. And I have a small wrist, and so this does well, and it reminds me, it's lightweight. It reminds me of the Apple Watch, except it's round. Now, this year, they came out with a lighter build using more aluminum because this one has stainless steel. And I actually like it because it's small and the stainless steel doesn't make it heavy. But now it's small and it's light, so even lighter. And I don't know if I would like that or not, but I would still like to get it because of the chipset. I was not impressed with the Pixel Watch, even though it's seamless with the Pixel, and it's actually quite seamless with the Samsung devices and other Android phones. Even the Apple, it will work. But I wanted a better chipset because it's a 3-year-old chipset. So they did put a new chipset in there. It's a Qualcomm, I forget the number, but it's a Qualcomm chipset. They slightly enhanced battery life. They're saying 24 hours with always on display on. That is enough for me. A lot of people are disappointed because they say if it was a bigger watch, it would have a bigger battery. So they want it to be bigger and therefore a better battery. I understand that. But what I'm doing is I'm following a routine where after I monitor my sleep through the Fitbit software, because, you know, Google owns Fitbit and Fitbit is pre-installed. Well, actually, it's not pre-installed, but it's easy to install on the Pixel Watch Gen 1 and Gen 2. So I'll wake up and I'll go take a shower, get my coffee, and I'll put my Pixel Watch on the charger, put it back on my wrist, and then after work, I will put it back on the charger for a little while, and that keeps me rolling. I don't have any problems when I do that routine. So there's the battery issue. The new colors are hot. I think the bay blue is so awesome looking. I haven't seen it in person, but I would love to get the bay blue watch. Now, the black did really well for me, but that bay blue, wow. So I'm not sure if I will get the bay blue or stick with the Gen 2 black, matte black. So they did a major update on two things with the watch. They did a chipset. They did the Fitbit update, which is going to have better what do you call it when algorithms, and better able to read your heart rate and things like that. And along those lines, they also put a temperature sensor on the new Pixel 8s. I think just the Pro, but it could be on the 8 as well. But that's not fully usable yet. It's going to come later. You'll be able to do your own temperature. You'll be able to do the temperature of food in the kitchen if you want to check out how hot some meat is that you're cooking. It's got that. I don't know how that works, but it's got that. The next thing they did is, and I was waiting for this is a very poor design, the watch charger, because the wireless charger, because it is slippery, it will fall off all your desks. It has no grip. And then the magnetism is good, but it's not great. So your watch can fall off, get disconnected. And that didn't happen all that often, but what happened most was that the charger itself would slide off my desk or stuff like that. And I was always having to pick it off the floor. So now they're going to have the pins that are on the Fitbit watches. And let me show you the back of the Pixel Watch Gen 1 has the sensors, which are getting an upgrade. But see where those 4 wireless charging bands are? Well, it's going to be a pin system, kind of like the pins of the old Apple iPhones. And it's going to be the Fitbit version, and it's supposed to charge faster, like 10% faster, not much, but a little bit. So you can charge it in 45 minutes instead of an hour. I never had a problem with the charging rate of the Pixel Gen 1, but it's going to be better. And it's going to have more magnetism, and it's just going to be a better charger. So that's pretty much all I got to say about the watch. I like the watch because if you have it, you know what I'm talking about. It's very seamless, and it does what it's supposed to do. I get all my messages. Now, I don't remember them saying anything yesterday about the speaker on the new Gen 2 watch, but the speaker on the Gen 1 watch was adequate, but it wasn't good. It wasn't loud enough, and it sounded really tinny. So I hope that they improve that, but I don't have any knowledge about if they did or not. Now, I am updating my Pixel 7 Pro right now to Android 14. It's almost done, and I hope it doesn't cut me off because, okay, it's waiting for me to restart it. So it's done. But I have some notes that I made as I was watching the event about the watch. Starting out is the Wi-Fi and LTE versions will be shipping next week, and it comes with YouTube Premium for 3 months and 6 months of Fitbit Premium for free. Now, I think on the YouTube, you only get 3 months if you haven't ever done it before. If you've got a YouTube account and you've used Premium before and you used your free service, I don't know that it's going to give you 3 more months, but it might. I don't know. So for the Pixel 8, now we're talking a minor upgrade, except in software. A minor upgrade in the build is a significant build. It is minor, but it's significant for me because why? Because every year new phone colors makes it attractive. So they have a new porcelain color, and they have the new bay blue color, which I was talking about, that matches with the watch really well. They also have a porcelain color for the Buds Pro. I'm just not a porcelain guy, so I'm interested in that bay blue. So it's got an aluminum build. Now this is significant because I had to get my Pixel 7 Pro fixed by iFixit 3 times last year. I had a motherboard failure. I had a screen breakage, and well, I guess it was twice, and I had to pay out the wazoo. Even though I had insurance, I had to pay the deductible twice because I did have a third. I can't remember what it was now, but I had a third fix it. So they're aligning themselves with iFixit. That used to be an AT&T thing. iFixit was who they would refer you out to with Asurion. but now they're collaborating with iFixit all over the nation. So it's going to be easier to fix. That is very important because the phone was made with third-party internals, and I remember the manager at the iFixit in Tulsa, Oklahoma, told me that he wished they would quit outsourcing their internal parts because they're cheaper, like the motherboard. So having it easier to repair is a step forward. I'm not sure if they have anything upgraded except the screen. Now let's talk about the screen, because they did apparently improve that quite a bit. It's called the Actua display and the Super Actua display on the 8 Pro. So its Actua display is 6.2 inches and 42% brighter than last year's Pixel 7 on the Pixel 8. And the 8 Pro has the Super Actua display at 6.7 inches with a peak brightness of 2400 nits. Variable display rate 120 hertz. That was already on it last year. The Tensor G3 has an ARM CPU and an upgraded GPU, so better gaming. And in the interview yesterday with Michael Fisher, the manager at Google said that they have worked a lot on the heating aspect, the overheating, and he claimed that it was because of all the AI stuff going on taxing the system. So they have a definitely better G3 Tensor chip. It's AI centered. It's got a TPU custom designed for, it's like the brains of the artificial intelligence. So they're doing all this on their own chipset, and it's helping to make AI the best in the Android world. 100% increase in AI computing. So that's pretty good. It efficiently runs the computational work at the same time. So they're doing a lot of these processes going on at the same time efficiently, he says. For example, they can auto-detect language while you're dictating. So if you're speaking to your phone, dictating a message, an email, it'll auto-detect your language and it will talk back to you in that language. No other phone will do that. Switches the languages on the fly. So the features now, the features are basically about cameras. So they've upgraded a lot of the sensors. They've got the best take, which you can swap out someone's face that's not doing well in a group shot, and you find another moment in that same picture where the face is looking like it fits with the rest of the people. So you can get that best take of your group shot. You can basically superimpose a subject's best shot onto that shot to make it perfect. They have something called guided frame, which I never really understood when they were talking about what that was all about. The Pro camera system is upgraded on the 8 Pro, has a new sensor with better low light, new ultra wide lens. So they've upgraded the main camera and the ultra wide camera. It lets in 56% more light and has 10 times zoom. And finally, the selfie lens has been upgraded. They also added Pro mode to video and Pro mode to camera on the 8 Pro only. So that is important for people that are creators. They also did night sight video, has been boosted. It's called Video Boost. Supposed to be the best low light video camera. And then you've got the Pixel 8 features. More software features are the Bard. So it's Assistant with Bard. And that means it's basically Google Assistant with AI. So all the stuff that you can do with AI, it's connected now with Google Assistant. It has reasoning and speaking and sight and conversational overlays where you can put a background picture on something that you're looking up, like say dog food for your dog. So you put a picture of your dog and every time it sees that dog's face, it will bring up things for dogs, and it remembers. But you have to opt in. It doesn't just happen. You have to opt in. This is a service that's just starting up, and at first you're going to have to opt in for that Google Assistant with Bard. And lastly, the new Pixel phones use foundational generative AI models on the Pro only, not the 8. So foundational generative AI models, that's the Google foundational AI model, which has been around and they've been working on. So only the phones, not the tablets, not the computers, only the phones at first, according to the manager at Google that did an interview with Michael Fisher yesterday. Only the phones are going to bring the foundational model. So it's going to be more powerful than any other AI out there. So I was looking at that's it. I was looking at the colors. I like the bay. I kind of wish the Pixel 8 Pro was a darker kind of than this baby blue. But the watch, I really like the watch bay color. It seems a little bit darker to me. But that's the color I would go with over the porcelain or the black. The black looks like all the Pixels before it. So the cameras is the big deal in AI. And oh yeah, I like that watch. And then they upgraded their watch, their Buds Pro, to have better wind blockage. So you're going to have a more quiet experience when you're talking on the Google Pixel Buds Pro. Again, I can't really get into the Pixel Buds Pro. They hurt my ears, so I'm using the LG Tone Free still. And until I find a good, I also have the Donner ones. The Donner ones are even better than the LG in my opinion, but I can't find them since I moved. So yeah, Pixel came with the AI this year. They did surprise me that they upgraded some of their build quality stuff on the 8 Pro and the 8. Now tell me if anybody knows if the 8 Pro is actually a curved screen still. I think it's going to be a flat screen, but I haven't heard anybody say anything about that. And I don't believe they said anything about it. So I know on my Pixel 8, my Pixel 7 Pro, the curved screen is the one thing I wish it didn't have, although it looks really hot. It would be better if it was flat screen for the longevity of the device, because if I don't have a good case on it, I'm going to crack that baby. So Terry, it's looking like Pixel came with the thunder. They surprised some people. They also didn't make any huge improvements to the watch, except they did do the thing that I was concerned about, which was the chipset. But people wanted a bigger watch for a bigger wrist with a bigger battery, and they still got the small 41 millimeter watch with a 24-hour lifespan battery. And it doesn't bother me, but some people didn't like that they didn't improve that. So we all have some jobs. We've been busy. I know a lot of you got to catch the Google Live event yesterday, and now you're going to be flooded with YouTube channels doing the videos on it. I'm going to finally download TikTok to my trap phone because I don't trust Chinese apps. So I really was like, oh no, Easy was switching over to TikTok because I don't have TikTok, never have had TikTok. But I'm going to do that on my non-SIM device because I really have a problem with the Chinese government. So, and they're spying on people and how they own TikTok. So anyway, I don't want to miss out on some things that he produces. So I think the Pixel 8, if I had a reason to upgrade from the 7 Pro, I would probably want to get the Pixel 8 Pro, but since the specs are very close on the phones, I'm really not going to get the Pixel 8 Pro. I'm going to try to get the Pixel Watch Gen 2 and see if the experience is enhanced at all, because it's something I can afford. I also have the S23 Ultra, but I'm going to try to switch my SIM card over to my Pixel 7 Pro, because I've been doing my workhorse trap phone for a month or two with Cricket. And that's the A54 5G. And let me tell you, the A54 5G does everything pretty well. It's to the point where you could get by with it, you know. But I pull out my S23 Ultra, I pull out my even my old Motorola Z3 with Moto Mods. I'll pull out my Pixel 7 Pro when I want to get a good experience. But the A54 5G is very good. I like it, enjoy it. And yeah, so I'm trying to save money like a lot of you, and I just think that that they did do a good job this year. I have no problems with what Google did yesterday. Now, there's some AI questions I have. I think a lot of people have. I was watching MKBHD talk about some of the AI photo things where you're being able to put your face from a different moment. And how is that kind of weird, or is that not weird? And that, I would just say that's where we're at right now with computational photography with AI. I think people want to have a good shot, and they really don't care if the shot has a false picture in it or a picture that wasn't in that moment, but it did happen moments before or moments after, and it just picks the one that looks the best. I think that's all right, but AI is really getting seriously powerful to where you could like put fake news out and people wouldn't know if that's the person or if it's somebody else. And, you know, there's all kinds of ways you can misabuse that, and you guys will see that as years go by. But I do like the fact that we're in a technological age, and we've got to learn how to best use it to make our lives better. So that's about it. That's all I had to. I just wanted to bullet point, kind of give you guys the breakdown of each feature, and just my thoughts on it. My thoughts on what the pixels are like. I'm just about to update my phone. My Pixel 7 Pro got the 14 update last night, and I am installing it right now. So that's about it.
Hey, Doug, watch the replay. Terry? I had it live, but I forgot on StreamYard to change it over to take it out of private on StreamYard. So people gonna be able to watch the replay of what you say, you know?
Okay, so they didn't get it live, but they'll get it second. They'll get to be able to replay it. Okay,
secondhand. You don't get it secondhand. Yeah, cause I forgot, because when you put it live on, you push the button, but you don't push the live part on StreamYard.
No, I understand.
The video wasn't showing up because I was checking on my phone 4. I said, "What? It's not showing up." And I understand I didn't take it off of private over here. That's what it is.
Well, I was wondering nobody was commenting. Yeah, nobody was commenting. I was wondering, but that's explained it. That's fine, and that works. That works. All right, man. Well, I enjoyed it. I have
StreamYard in a long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce because I'm updating my Pixel, and I want to see if anything new comes out of it. And I know you're driving, so we can talk later.
The EQ controls on that thing, or all the other Pixels don't have the EQ. You got to go get a separate program for that.
Yeah, I've got EQ. I'll send you a screenshot.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, I enjoyed it, Terry.
I'm thinking
you take care. I'll talk to you.
Myself.
Yeah, I think it's getting time where Pixel is getting there. They're getting there where you might want to invest in it. They're finally making phones that are decent. Yeah.
I think you're after all these years. If I go ahead and get that. Yeah.
After 7 years, they finally got a good one. Even the 7 Pro had some flaws, but the new 8 Pro is very good. It's now I forgot to mention, they did go up $100. They went up $100 on both phones. So instead of $599, the 8 is now $699. But I wouldn't invest in the 8 because the 8 doesn't have a lot of the camera features. The 8 Pro went up $100, so now the 8 Pro is no longer $900. Now it's $1,000.
Wow.
So everybody else was kind of staying. I do. If you like Pixel, and they throw in the free. They're throwing in the watch, Gen 2 watch for free, or the Buds Pro for free. If you get the Pro, you get the watch or the Buds for free if you pre-order. So you have to get it soon to get the watch for free.
I may have to look into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what makes that ecosystem work, is the watch paired up with the phone. It's really, really cool. Now, that's a $349 watch for free.
That means it has all that health benefits to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and you need that. Yeah, that's something to look into. They're gonna be able to monitor your blood pressure and everything.
But I was looking into the Samsung watch. Google things pretty interesting with that. Starting being the Thunder. So your opinions before we go and stuff like that. The Pixel Fold that they came out with this year, and how you think it's going to change the world next year when they bring out the Pixel Fold 2. That's the question I want to ask you.
Oh, that's a good question. I've never had a foldable, so I can't speak from experience. But I'll just say that I think they did a first gen, pretty decent device for first gen. I think it was overpriced, but other than the price, I think it was a good device. I didn't like some of the Easy Computer Solutions flaws. The flaws of the Pixel Fold were revealed on Easy's channel, and I didn't like some of the overheating stuff. And so I wouldn't personally buy the Pixel Fold. I would buy the Galaxy Fold 5 before I would buy the Pixel Fold. But I like the way that it's more of a wide display as opposed to a long one. But I also understand the longer form factor is good for your pocket. I've heard people say that it's hard to pull out the Pixel Fold out of your pocket because it's so wide, it's hard to yank it out. It sticks. But the Samsung Fold was easy to get out because it's more long and it fits in your pocket. So I think the Gen 2 Pixel Fold will be better. I do, because I think Google's only moving forward. They're only getting better. But I wouldn't buy it right now. I would wait till the Pixel Fold 2. I would not buy the first gen. That's just my take.
Yeah, that first gen has a lot of glitches in it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Had a lot of stuff going on with that. That's the reason why I could have been had it. You know, contract. I could have been had this a long time ago. I choose not to get it. You know what I mean? I'm happy with the Fold 4, but the Fold 4 is going to have to be upgraded to the Fold 5 because the issue I'm having it. I got Dex on my TV, but the pad part I can't even control it because the pad part didn't show. But when I did it with the when I did it with the S23 Ultra, the pad showed up, no problem. Having fun with it. And same thing with both of my Motorola phones with the Razr. But my Razr 2 had to get that feature back on. You know what I mean? When I try to do it to an LG, and they just want to use put the link inside the computer to connect to it. So, yep. So the Razr's right home. So the Razr right now is at home getting a nice trim. You know what I'm saying? And everything's being updated, which is going to be an all-day process.
That's good. Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
Yep. Yeah, that might be the only thing that will fix it, if that'll fix it at all. And we want to hear about that. Let us know how that works. Let us know how
Yep.
the reset of the Razer fixes the problem that you had with the table desktop mode. See if it fixes it or not.
Yep. Ralph's in the room, my man. Ralph's in the room. Welcome, Ralph. Welcome,
All right.
Ralph. Welcome, Ralph. And stuff. We're going to be
Welcome.
doing this show pretty soon, all next week. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad when you see your. But you're my man, Ralph. That's all. So, do you read the comments that he's saying right?
Let me pull it up. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can. Yeah, I see him. I agree, Ralph. The Dex is boring, but it's only boring if you are, how do I say it, not a businessman, or you don't. If you're good with the PC stuff, then you can make it work for you. But sometimes things will pop out and invite you to use them, and Dex is not one of them. You kind of have to, when you pull it up, it's just kind of there, and now you have to use it, and you have to know how to use it. So you need to have a reason to use it. I remember when the first Dex came out, it was that dock, and I bought it with my Note 8. I got the VR headset, Gear VR. I had the Gear S3 watch, and the Dex, and I just really didn't use the Dex that much because I had a good PC that was good for gaming. And I just didn't have any reasons to use it. I mean, I could make like something to an email or something and use my printer and print it out, but it wasn't as easy as I thought it should be. But I know that there are people that use it for business that know how to use it, and therefore they get something out of it. I think it's good to have a desktop mode. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that they should have not made it. But I think Motorola expounded upon it and made Motorola's is a lot easier. Is a lot more. It seems to me a lot more attractive looking. The interface. Would you say so, Terry? Would you say that the Motorola did a good job on their interface? Let's see what he. Yeah, Dex would kill it if they change it to Android TV OS. Okay. I've never had an Android TV box. I thought about it, but the price was a little high. And I'm a Amazon Fire guy anyway. I like the plug and play. And but I can use Dex. I just haven't used it. Don't miss it. But there are people that do, and they do want to use it, and that's cool. I'm glad that it's on all of the top devices. I don't think I have, and I don't have Dex on A54 5G. But look, I think the best phone I have is the S23 Ultra. It's still the best phone. But I'm not one to get in on the Samsung ecosystem like I used to. I had a little bit of a bad experience with the watch because the watch got fried in the swimming pool. That was the Gear S3. But it did work. It worked well. But I like the Pixel watch. I think they did a good job of making it Google friendly. It connects well with the Pixel device, and I love it. So I'm in the ecosystem now with Google, and I'm finding it's very smooth. So finally, Google's making some good handsets. And that's the part that they showed 2 years or 3 years. This is the third year in a row since they made a good handset. The 6, the 7 series, and now the 8 series. They're all good. They just need to get a little bit better before I make it a mandatory buy. Because they did make some incremental upgrades in the hardware. The display remains to be seen. I would like to play with one at Best Buy, because the 8 Pro has that 2400 nits max brightness, and the 1 hertz all the way up to 120 hertz. I think that's right up there competing with the best. and I would
And
like
that's
to
what
see
it
how
would
it
be.
looks because my Pixel 7 Pro's display is really good, but the iFixit guy told me that it's very thin, and so it breaks very easily, especially with a curved screen. So somebody find out if the 8 Pro has a curved screen or a flat screen. I do not know the answer to that, and I'm curious. But I do think that it's going to look better. The display is going to look better on the 8 than it did on the 7 Pro.
I can't wait to see these.
But
They don't have none of the phones in the main stores right now.
Not yet. Give it a week or so.
I'm happy with what I got. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're shipping them out. Yeah. They're shipping them out next week. So we should be seeing the phones hit the stores if they're not already in some of the bigger cities. They should be hitting the stores, I would think. And you can play with it. But for me, in my home, the 7 Pro is still good enough. I don't need to upgrade to the 8 Pro. I hope that helps somebody make a decision if they need to on whether to upgrade or not.
I'm going to let you know, too, really Philadelphia is an Apple city. That's what it is. More people on Apple than on Android. And when they see an Android, they don't, they say, look into the specs of the Android, say, oh, just Android. I think more offering what OS has, to be honest with you, and more free programs. If you got thousands of dollars to go ahead to make it the best, make Apple OS the best phone in the world, go knock yourself out. Because that's what you're going to pay to get all the best programs, over $1,000 or $2,000. You know what I mean? With Android, you don't have to do all that. But people want to be in competition with that. But everybody got their opinions, their pet peeves on what they like and who they like and who they're going to choose.
Yeah.
Ask your phone, ask your provider. You know what I mean? And ask the one that you're going to be carrying at your main device all day, every day.
I really wish that they had not gone up $100 on all of their devices this year. They went up $100 on the Pixel 8. It used to be $599, now it's $699. But last year they were saying, well, that's really cheap for a very good phone. So it's not out of this world pricing, but they did go back up on their prices. I'm not sure why. I think it's probably because the AI is costing them more. And all the work that they're doing on the AI behind the scenes is costing them more as a company. But the 8 Pro is now $1,000 instead of $900. And that last year, it was just, that's why I couldn't resist. I had a trade-in deal where they gave me $800 at AT&T for my Samsung S9 Plus. And so I only had to pay $100 for the Pixel 7 Pro. Wow. So now it's back up to $1,000. But if you want to get into the Pixel ecosystem, you're going to pay, but you're not going to pay as much as you do for Samsung. Still.
And Google too. You think they're going to be able to outdo the others pretty soon?
No. And the reason I say that is they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what they're doing when they're making handsets. They're just finally figuring it out. So they're not out of the woods yet. You see, they're doing good, but they still are acting like they don't know what they're doing. They're finding their way. Will they one day overtake the Android market? I don't think so, because unless something changes, they're not even highly represented in the rest of the world. You can get a Pixel phone. You have to order it overseas. If you live in certain places in Europe, you can't even get a Pixel you have to order it from the United States or something. So they're not all over the world yet. So they've got a lot of growth to do. And they admitted that in the interview yesterday with Michael Fisher. They admitted that they're starting to open up the market. But here in the United States, yeah, they're number 3. You know, LG was number 3. Now Google's number 3. But they're not making, the devices still aren't as good build quality wise as the Samsung. And then you've got the whole Apple thing, which is a different scenario, because you've got the ecosystem which sucked so many people in. The young people are brainwashed. But there's a lot of young men I met, a lot of young teenagers that don't have a lot of money that prefer Android. But a lot of the girls, they like the Apple phones, and Like you said, Philly is pretty much an Apple city. Well, in Texas, it's pretty much a Samsung and Apple city. But Samsung has got, you got about, I'd say 60-40. 60% are Apple and 40% are Samsung. And then you've got a lot of Motorola's out there. You got a lot of Uber drivers. Yeah, they're all over. But Apple sometimes is really popular.
I gotta go grab something.
Okay. So while he grabs something, Samsung is definitely a player, but in some markets, iPhone is just so incredibly popular, you know. And so, I mean, just your average American person just seems to just gravitate to Apple unless they know better or have an interest in technology where they want something different. They want, you know, they have to be a thinking kind of person to want something different because everybody else at Apple's sheep. And they just go along with the crowd and they like, you know, it's a good device. So there's they don't see the error of the ways unless they're in technology and comparing and contrasting between what Android offers. They're just going by what they see day to day, and everybody, all their friends are also on Apple, so they don't have any reason to switch. But the foldables is supposed to be the way that Android makes up for it because people are interested in the foldables. I think generally speaking they are. And you got Pixel now made their foldable. You got Samsung's got their 5th generation. And so Apple's going to have to come with a thunder on their foldable, and they're not even talking about it yet. You know, it's like that could be, I'd say, I would think Apple will release their foldable in like 2 years from now. So 2025 or 2026. But the Apple sheep don't seem to hold back. They don't care that there's no foldable. They might want one. The techies might want one, but they're not going to get one. So they're okay with their flab phones. Personally, I don't have a foldable. I'm okay with my slab phones because I make my phones do stuff to help me. I enjoy how they help me live my life easier. The biggest difference in the last 12 months for me tech-wise is that since I got the Pixel Watch, I feel my life has gotten a lot more simple when it comes to texting and responding to people. I know that watches have been doing that for a while. I did have the Gear S3 that had a good speaker on it, and I could talk with my calls, but it wasn't seamless like this is. This one is really made my life better, and I think that that's going to continue to improve. And I'm not as interested in AI as I am with seamlessness. So I am aware that AI is making leaps and bounds, and I got my eye on it, but I really enjoy the seamless ecosystem. And I love it when they make an ecosystem where you can use it with another phone and still get most of the features. And that's what I found the Pixel Watch is pretty good at. Once you get Fitbit Premium on your Pixel Watch, you can use that with a Samsung phone seamlessly, pretty much. It just works perfectly with the Pixel phone. So if you really want to see what Pixel's doing, this is a good year to do it. They did go up $100 on, not on the watch. Yeah. The watch is the same price, but they went up $100 on the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro. So you're going to pay more premium for the phones. But if you want to just point and shoot, you know, you're not going to be disappointed with the camera. Although I still think the S23 Ultra's camera system is better. I still think it's the best.
And I love it. An ecosystem where you can use it with another phone and still.
All right, guys. I think we got some
that with Samsung phone
connection issues.
Pretty much. It just
I hope it helps somebody, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day.
If you really want to,
I'll see you later.
What Pixel's doing, this is a good year to do it. on and still.
Let me see if he's still over there. All right, Don. If he's in here, he must have left. That's all. That's it for the day. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for coming in, Ralph. Thanks for coming in, G.E. Rowland. Which I think is easy. Undercover. You know what I mean? And I already know you're out. So I just came back in. My thing keeps cutting on and off, keeps cutting on and off. So this was a good presentation. You missed part of it because I made a mistake of not putting it on live on StreamYard. That's why I hadn't used StreamYard for a long time. So that what happened with that. So just make sure you're watching in from the beginning, get the knowledge from it. Wants to comment, be on Telegram and stuff like that. If you got anything you want to speak about, sticks and anything else,